Good morning, GEA. I have a great story to read to you today, and it is called Something Good by Robert Munsch. Okay, so this is a great story, and I hope you enjoy it. A lot of your parents go shopping sometimes and buy groceries and things like that, and do they always buy exactly what you want? Sometimes you might ask them for things that you might think are good. And this is a story about a little girl who thinks that she knows what's best and what's really good to buy at the grocery store. All right? Are we ready? Okay, something good. Taya went shopping with her father and her brother and her sister. She pushed the cart up the aisle and down the aisle and up the aisle and down the aisle and up the aisle and down the aisle. And Taya said, "Sometimes my father doesn't buy good food. He gets bread and eggs and milk and cheese and spinach. Nothing any good. He doesn't buy ice cream, cookies, chocolate bars, or ginger ale." So Taya very quietly snuck away from her father and got a cart of her own, and she pushed it over to the ice cream. And then she put 100 boxes of ice cream into her cart. Taya pushed that cart back up behind her father and said, "Daddy, look!" Her father turned around and yelled, "Yikes!" Taya said, "Daddy, good food." "Oh, no," said her father. "This is all sugary junk. It will rot your teeth. It will lower your IQ. Put it all back." So Taya put back the 100 boxes of ice cream. She meant to go right back to her father, but on the way, she had to pass the candy. She put 300 chocolate bars into her cart. Taya pushed that cart up behind her father and said, "Daddy, look!" Her father turned around and said, "Yikes!" Taya said, "Daddy, good food." "Oh, no," said her father. "This is all sugary junk. Put it all back." So Taya put back all the chocolate bars. And then her father said, "Okay, Taya, I have had it. You stand right here and don't move." Taya knew she was in big trouble, so she stood there and she didn't move. Some friends came by and said, "Hello." Taya didn't move. A man ran over her toe with his cart, and Taya still didn't move. A lady who worked at the grocery store came by and looked at Taya, and she looked her over from top to bottom, and she looked her over from bottom to top, and she knocked on Taya's head, and Taya still didn't move. The lady said, "This is the nicest doll I have ever seen. It looks almost real." So she put a price tag on Taya's nose that said $29.95. And then she picked Taya up and put her on the shelf with all the other dolls. A man came along and looked at Taya, and he said, "This is the nicest doll I have ever seen. I'm going to get that doll for my son." So he picked up Taya by the hair, and Taya yelled very loudly, "Stop!" The man screamed, "Hey, it's alive!" And he ran down the aisle, knocking over a pile of 500 apples. A lady came along and looked at Taya, and she said, "This is the nicest doll I have ever seen. I think I will buy this doll for my daughter." So she picked Taya up by the ear, and Taya yelled as loudly as she could, "Stop!" And the lady screamed, "Hey, it's alive!" And she ran down the aisle, knocking over a pile of 500 oranges. Then Taya's father came along, looking for his daughter. He said, "Taya, Taya, Taya, where are you? Taya, what are you doing on that shelf?" And Taya said, "It's all your fault. You told me not to move, and people are trying to buy me." "Oh, come on now," said her father. "I'm not going to let anybody buy you. and he gave Taya a big kiss and a big hug, and they went to pay for all the food. The man at the cash register looked at Taya and said, "Hey, mister, you can't take that kid out of the store. You have to pay for her. Says so right there on her nose, $29.95. "Wait," said the father. "This is my own kid. I don't have to pay for my own kid." The man said, "Well, if it's got a price tag, you have to pay for it." "I won't pay," said the father. "You've got to," said the man. The father said no. The man said yes. The father said no. The man said yes. And the father and Andrew and Julie all yelled no. And then Taya quietly said, "Daddy, don't you think I'm worth $29.95? I mean, well, of course you're worth $29.95, said the father. And he reached into his wallet and he got out the money and he paid the man and he took the price tag off Taya's nose. Taya gave her father a big kiss, smooch, and a big hug, and then she said, "Daddy, you finally bought something good after all." And then her father picked up Taya and gave her a big long hug, and they didn't say anything at all.